Hello, guys. So, welcome back to the live session. Today is Sunday, the 20th of June, 2021. 1 hour live session from UK. So, I'll be live for 1 hour taking your questions. Obviously, I'll try my best to answer your question to the best of my ability, my knowledge, experience. But before that, just adding a disclaimer, I'm not a solicitor, not a immigration lawyer. I'm only civil engineer, so I can advise you certainly from civil engineering perspective. But if you need you're concerned about your immigration, specific about your case, I would highly urge you, educate you to be part of, be with your profession and get advice, the relevant advice there. But otherwise, I will try my level best, to share my experience with you guys. And whatever your question you might have, whether that's regarding immigration to the UK, obviously I've gone through the process myself as well, so I can share my knowledge here, and also about the civil engineering in particular. And particularly, I study civil engineering in the UK and go on to the job later here as well. And for the past 15, 16 years, I've been working in the UK as a civil engineer, so I can guide you through those process, the job prospects as well here in the UK. If you got any questions, you can use the live chat here as well as you have my number, WhatsApp number there as well. And obviously you get priority if you call me on that number, so I can take your call and then we'll try my level best here to answer your question there. So that's the pattern for today. And today's topic is the hot topic. Obviously everyone is interested about this topic, how to find a job in the UK. So very interested topic. Obviously lots of question that comes from yourselves about the same theme, the same topic, whether that's are fresh graduates coming as a student here in the UK, or whether that they are experienced, they're trying to apply from overseas. So obviously it involves all the different sort of experience, as well as the fresh students and the graduates as well. So I thought I'll just highlight the basics. Basically, what do you need to find a job in the UK? I'm talking here about the professional job. Obviously, I'll more concentrate on the professional job rather than the part-time jobs, which you can manage easily with your studies and other sort of bits and bobs. But the professional jobs is the one that takes you to your PR and settlement in the UK. That's why it's really a hot topic. So obviously, I will take a bit 5-10 minutes just to go through the different stages you need to go through to avail the opportunity in the UK about the professional job. And if you got any questions, please type them in the comment section, in the live chat there, and I will respond them when I finish with this topic. And then if you call me as well, so I won't mind in the middle of the discussion, we can have a chat as well in the meantime. So right, so let's have a quickly wrap up this topic: how to find a job in the UK, professional job. So there are mainly three stages. So the first stage is your eligibility to work in the UK. That's very important, especially from the employer perspective, from the recruiter perspective, because they won't entertain you at all if you're not eligible to work in the UK. That's the first stage. So for the students, it's quite easily, obviously, if you're coming as a student to the UK after studies, you will get the PSW, and that's where you ticked off that eligibility criteria there. So PSW will make you eligible to work in the UK. For the experienced personnel, I mean, they are trying to apply from overseas. For those ones, actually this eligibility comes as a second stage, where you need to find a job first, basically with the recruiter, and you get the skilled worker visa. That's where fulfill the eligibility criteria there. In terms of requirements, it's exactly the same. Your eligibility needs to be there, I mean, to work in the UK. Either you have to have the skilled worker visa, you have to have the PSW, a dependent visa. So all these different type of visas that make you eligible to work in the UK. So as long you have the eligibility to work in the UK, you can go to the next stage, which is the next stage in finding a job is your CV. It's very, very important, guys. I do receive lots of calls and lots of messages about the CV, how to find, how to write the perfect CV, especially for the UK job market. So what I'm gonna spend a bit of a time actually about the CV uh, in this session, just to make you aware the job recruitment, actually the job requirement here in the UK is quite specific, and the UK market asks for specific requirements in the CV, what you need to add in the CV. So I've seen actually the CVs and the generally it comes from yourself, and I can see that there is a huge improvement you need to make to your CVs, and because that's the only way that it make you way to the next stage, which is the interview, the last stage of finding a job in the UK. So I'm going to spend a bit of a time about the CV, how you can write your CV. Obviously, I mean, you need to spend quite a bit of time to brush up your CV. What I'm going to share with you guys is this is from the Department of Work and Pension, the UK website. I will share some links into the description below as well. So I'm going to just give you some tips of what you need to include in your CV, so you are highlighting yourself to the recruiter, to the employer here in the UK. So just a few tips here I'm going to add. Also, I'm going to share my personal CV. Obviously, I got experience, so don't be disheartened if you haven't got those sort of lines or those sort of keywords in your CV. Obviously, with your experience, if your experience as well, so you can use similar keywords in your CV as well to be attracted by the employer here as well. So let's talk about what makes a good CV. This is specific to UK job market, so you need to be aware every job market has a different sort of requirement. So this is specific to UK job market. So keep your CV to less than 2 pages. What this is, well, I would say you can argue that obviously if you go more experience, like 10, 12 years experience, so obviously you need to have a lot more in your CV. But obviously, just to highlight that you don't need to fill the pages just for the sake of it. It needs to be really easy to read, and you don't need to just explain from A to Z. I mean, what you have done. You need to highlight your skills, your competency. It's not just about you're done basically from so and so 2 years with this company and that's it. I mean, you finished there. You need to highlight what actually you done yourself. I mean, that is important. The skills, the competency, that's what the recruiter needs for yourself. So for first, key stages, I mean, in your CV, to make sure it's very easy to read. So don't use too many jargons. Generally, in the CV I've seen different people use, I mean, different sort of acronyms there. Make sure you highlight them there in your CV to make sure that the recruiter or the employer, whoever that reads your CV, they understand what you're trying to basically convey the message there. So it says for example, like if you got more experience, so like 10 years experience or so, you can even like a previous, the old experience, you can just highlight them as a previous experience and bullet point them, just to make sure you cover all your experiences there. Focus on the key information like your key competencies, skills. Include relevant achievements that relate to your role. What are you proud of and what makes you unique? So this is really important points for your CV. Your competency, your skills, what makes you unique from others. I mean, that will attract actually the employers, if you highlight those sort of skills that are relevant to the advertised job. That's where it makes it really unique for yourself. Start with your personal details. So obviously the starting should be your name and your phone number, email address. That is the main requirements actually about your biodata. It doesn't need your physical sort of address, photo, or date of birth. That is not required, so you don't need to include these additional sort of physical address or photo there. You can even include your LinkedIn profile account. This is really, I have highlighted this time and time in my videos as well. The LinkedIn is acting as a professional sort of Facebook here in the UK. So majority of the recruiter and the employers, they have their profiles already on the LinkedIn as well. And you need to make and highlight yourself as basically they're open to work. Yeah, yourself, you need to highlight and that sort of platform. Also, the good thing is, I mean, you can follow the recruiter, the companies on these LinkedIn there as well. So whenever they advertise the job on the LinkedIn, obviously if you are you're following those companies, the big companies, you will get the notification straight away, and you can see whether that are relevant to your experience, and you can apply for those jobs as well. So this is really important for yourself to be on the LinkedIn there and show the willingness, yeah, to work in the UK. Make your skills, experience, education, highlight your major achievements, include the facts and figures where appropriate, and demonstrate your competency. So this is really important. Highlight the keywords in the job description. So generally what you would do, if there's a job advertised, if you want to apply for the job, so they will need specific, especially if I'm talking for a graduate engineer, like a civil engineer graduate. So there will be keywords like a team working, flexibility, yeah, flexible, sustainable, knowledge of sustainable, health and safety. So these would be the keywords actually that would be advertised in the job description. You need to ensure you use those keywords in your CV. So that's how you apply basically to those jobs, to make sure you attract the attention from the employer there, from the recruiter, because generally they will use the search sort of search sort of action. And if you have notice all those requirements from the job description in your CV, if you added them in, that's where you're going to get the intention from the recruiter there. um, Also, you need to make regular updates to your CV. Obviously, it's not just a blanket, you make one CV and you apply throughout wherever job comes along, and you apply a blanket sort of application there. You need to read the job description, what the employer, the recruiter wants from yourself. So you need to just make up a few changes, especially the keywords, as I mentioned. So you need to add those keywords into your CV. That's where that will make you more visible to the recruiter there. It needs to be really in plain English. So don't use sort of your English competency there. Make a hard words there and something the recruiter won't like it. So make it really straightforward, easy to read, sort of fashion there. Uh, and the next tip, a tip generally, I do receive CVs from yourselves as well. The lots of mistakes, the grammar and spelling mistakes. Make sure you don't make those mistakes. It doesn't feel good for someone, for the recruiter actually. If I'm reading your CV and does have some grammar mistakes or some spelling mistakes, I won't be bothered to go further in your application for sure. I mean, so you need to make sure you use actually, even if you're using MS Word, I'm sure there is a spelling correction method there as well. You can use those ones. So these are basically the general requirement from the actually UK perspective, what you need to include in your CV. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my personal CV. So this is my personal CV. So it's similar basically in terms of the content. I've included pretty much similar content. So on the top, my name there, and my qualification, contact numbers, and my mobile number basically. And then what I've done actually, the profile underneath, the first there. So in my profile, I've added basically the extract the content from my whole experience, 16 years experience. So I'll include that on the top. So someone that they pick up my CV, so they can get attention straight away just from a few lines there. And that's where I added my profile there. And then my key experience and the keywords I've added, obviously in the civil engineering industry. So the keywords I'm using here, like civil engineering design expertise, technical assurance, temporary works design, bridges and structure design, technical report writing, project management, construction management, health and safety, environment, project coordination, feasibility studies, project handover. So these are actually I'm using as a key experience, is if you can look at these ones. So these are all the key experience I've just written there. So that shows basically if the recruiter just do a search any of these keywords, so that will highlight me there for the jobs basically. So I have included those as the keywords in my CV. And I know, I mean, if I'm looking for civil engineering role, I mean the one currently I'm working here, so I know what the generally, yeah, the recruiter the keywords are there, because I've been going through these processes already. And then after that, actually the key process qualification on the top, and then I've gone into the my experience. So one by one I've added actually all the experiences there. If you are keen, and in my CV, so that I can share this CV as well with you guys. So I won't mind, I mean, sharing this CV. But obviously there is no hard and fast rule in terms of the format, what format you're going to use, as long they are clear, easy to understand. I mean, that's all you need. As long, I mean, they're simple English, that's all you need. So in terms of the requirements, as mentioned earlier, so it needs to be really precise. You need to highlight your competency, your skills, and that needs to be relevant to the advertised job. As long you fulfill those requirements, I'm sure, yeah, the next stage is no further off actually, so which is the interview stage. So once you've been shortlisted by the recruitment agency or by the employer, so the next stage comes as an interview. Generally there will be a face to face. I mean, in general term, obviously due to the COVID, everything went online, and nowadays most of the time it goes online, basically the interviews as well. All the different employers, actually they have their own standards about the interview. So whether they're going to be only one interview, just covering everything, basically your initial assessment and your final sort of, yeah, the technical assessment, everything could be in one interview. There could be a different sort of assessment day, especially I've seen some of the big recruitment agency, the employers like Atkins, AECOM, when they recruit the graduate engineers, they would have a separate assessment day for the graduates as well. So you need to go through the assessment day, and once you clear those ones, you'll be shortlisted to go into the face-to-face interview after that as well. So it all depends on the companies themselves. They have their own standards, so there's no sort of standard format for the UK interview job process. Generally, obviously in my recent sort of, yeah, experience, I had my online interview through the Teams, MS Teams. I mean, either Zoom or Team. I mean, that's generally you use here. So I've gone through basically through the Teams, and that was it. Actually, one interview I had personally myself a few weeks ago. Actually, I got the new job, and it was just one interview, and that was it actually through the team, and 1 hour sort of interview. Question answer session, and after that you receive as a positive or negative sort of results. I mean, that's all simple as that. So there's no complication at all. It's very straightforward, sort of, yeah, the stages that goes along. But the main stage is your CV, because that's the only way. Once your CV is up to top notch, that's where you're going to get to the interview stage. Otherwise, I mean, no matter how genius you are, how good you are, how competent you are, if your CV is not up to the scratch, not up to the standard, the recruiter, the employer, they won't pick you up basically, and you won't go get to the interview stage at all. So that's why the CV is really important. And I said, I mean, I've shared my CV as well. I will try, if you are interested in my CV as a guideline, so I don't mind actually to share my CV there as well, especially for the experienced engineer. I mean, if they're looking for a job in the UK, so they can get basically the keywords from my CV as well. So that will be a useful tool for them as well. So this was the topic for today. So how to find a job, and I thought, yeah, that this would be useful tips for yourself, whether you are a graduate engineer studying, coming for studies. I mean, in you are a student, and at this stage, still you need to go through all these process to find a job here in the UK. or whether you are experienced back home and you're thinking how to find a job in the UK. So for the experienced people, obviously, again, CV makes, yeah, the bulk of it. Yeah, you need to make your CV to make sure you are highlighted yourself to the recruitment agencies here, and that's how you're going to be highlighted and you get to the next stage of interview. And for overseas, obviously, once you clear both stages, CV and the interview, you will get the skilled worker visa after that, and that's how you can come to the UK and be part of the game. So I hope this is clear information. If you still got any doubts, so do comment here. Also, let's crack on with the some of the questions here. Thank you very much, guys, for being part of this session. I really enjoying this now. More and more people are joining now. So let's take the first question from Vishal. Uh, Hello, sir. For MSc Construction Project Management, which college would you suggest from Loughborough University or University of Greenwich? Very common question about the universities. I mean, which one is the best? Obviously, you have specifically highlighted two universities there, Loughborough versus Greenwich. Well, it's for me, it's a straightforward. I would go with Loughborough University because that they are really high rank compared to Greenwich. But generally, I do say to yourselves as a student, it doesn't matter. I mean, about the ranking, about the where that sits actually about the ranking, because they all works under the British councils here, so all needs to be accredited to the British councils, and they provide really a good education system. Doesn't matter about the ranking. And when it comes to the job finding as well, I hardly seen any recruitment agency or any sort of, yeah, employer that asks you where you did your masters from, what university you did your masters from. It's completely out of question. So this won't be questioned at all in your interview. So it doesn't matter, as long the universities are providing your course contents. That is generally my answer. So you need to go through the modules what they're providing for your course. If there is something you are interested in, so you should go with that one. But in terms of, yeah, these two, university, Loughborough versus Greenwich, I would go with Loughborough just because of their ranking. That's all. I don't know what they're providing specific in modules about the project management, if I'm honest. So I don't know. That's this where I said, you need to go through the module. If they're providing the best content for your project management, so I would go with that university. The next question is from, again, yes. So it's the next question from Michelle. After master's completion, is it easy to get a job in the company with CPM? Brother, I would stop now using that easy to get a job in the UK, because it make, yeah, the water a bit muddy when I say it's easy to get, especially for civil engineers, because the people generally get the impression that easy mean you complete your masters and the job will be at your doorstep, which won't be the case for sure. Yeah, so easy mean, there's a huge potential, there's a huge opportunities available for civil engineers. So there's no doubt about this. The scope is huge for civil engineers. If you missed my last live session, I did highlight actually one of the recent, a week ago, there was an article in the construction news, actually. So they highlighted 417,000 engineering jobs will be available in the next four. Actually, engineers are required in the next 4 years until 2025. So that's on average 55,000 engineers that are required actually for the, especially for the HS2 high speed 2. So there's a huge potential here for the engineers, whether you are a construction project manager, you are a civil engineer, you are an environmentalist, whatever. Yes, the engineering sort of sector, there's a huge demand here. And to find a job, you need to highlight your skills, your competency, as said earlier. Basically, when it comes to your CV and finding a job, you need to highlight what you can provide to the employer. So exactly, you're only going to get the job if you are willing to provide you what the recruitment or what the employer wants from yourselves. As long you fulfill those requirements, whether that's about your skills, about your software skills, your your personal skills, your whatever you've learned actually from the university. If you can fulfill those requirements in your job, that's where you're going to get job, and that become easy in that sense. But obviously, if you're not competent to provide those sort of services to the employer, it doesn't matter whether we got in thousands and millions of jobs in the UK. If you can't provide those service to the employer, it won't be easy for yourself. So simple as that. So I don't want to use that easy sort of terminology anymore. I do say that there is a huge potential, there's a huge demand for engineers for sure, as long you have those sort of basic competency, the skills. You need to brush up those sort of skills, I mean, to provide to the employer. As long you have those guts, I'm sure you will settle in easily. I use the easily again there, but obviously if you have the competency there. So the next question is from HJ. What about 25 years experience can get a job? Brother, 25 years experience, obviously. So your experience definitely counted here. So as long again, as long when you apply for the job, as long they are relevant to your experience in terms of the actually how to apply, certainly CV plays a vital role. You need to highlight first of all, you need to find a relevant job. And as say, in terms of the job opportunities, there's a huge potential here. In terms of the job portals we generally use are CV Library, totaljobs.com. LinkedIn is very important. Make sure everyone they are here, they are listening here. Make use of LinkedIn and make that as your Facebook. Basically, follow the main consultant, the contractor. Follow them, and whenever they advertise the job, so you will be highlighted straight away there, and whether that they are relevant to your experience, so you can apply straight away there. So that's where it's really important. And even if you apply through the LinkedIn, the first thing the recruiter or the employer they will do, they will go onto the LinkedIn and see what your profile looks like. So you need to ensure all your experience, all your keywords are meshed up here in the LinkedIn as well. And again, if you want to see the example, you can search my LinkedIn profile there as well. I don't say that's a perfect, but at least I would say you will get a bit of an idea how to make basically your profile 100% or 5-star sort of profile there. In fact, my one is 5-star there, so you can have a look there what keywords I'm using, how I've tailored my all the experience there and the keywords, and you can fulfill the similar requirements there with 25 years of experience. I'm sure you can settle in, and obviously as long you find the relevant job from these job portals and apply through proper channel basically. So there is opportunity there. The next question is from MD Khan. Why is salary low in civil engineering in the UK? Very good question, brother. Yes, I would definitely agree with your question. It's very low, and I would say maybe the reason might be because, especially for the locals here, they start their engineering journey, especially in civil engineering, from the labor market. So they won't have any sort of certification, no a degree. Degree is quite high level, I should say. So they would start from a labor and they will jump up basically step by step to the next stage, and they become construction managers and all those. And that might be the reason, because they don't have a qualification. That's why actually the employer, they don't want to top up their salary. So that might be the answer there. But certainly I do agree the salaries are not good for civil engineers in the UK. But if I compare the average salary with the like IT or other sectors, I would say that they work out about the same actually. If I search basically the Google average salary for civil engineer in the UK, so that works out about 42,000 pound per year. I mean, that is the average. So it includes like from graduate to all the experience, the principal level. So when you average it out, that's where you get the average salary for a professional civil engineer. So it's about 42,000 per year. that's the average salary. IT is exactly the same. I think it's a 43,000. So there's not a difference there. I mean, in terms of the average, I would say the difference comes if you switch from the permanent sort of account to the contract sort of size. That's where you can get a bit more sort of out of the jobs, but obviously it's a lot more risky there as well. So I won't advise especially the youngsters, the graduates, to go straight into the contract sort of roles. I would highly recommend for the graduates especially to get into the permanent job initially, to get your sort of the initial stages that going. I mean, to set up your goals first, basically initial stage, to get the experience, exposure, and get in on your track basically for a few years. And then if you want to switch over to the contract job, that's where you're going to get a bit more out of the in terms of the salary. So I'm sure that is I would say that's part of another video I should make, one the difference between the contract and permanent jobs. But I completely 100% agree, MD Khan, about the salary is low. I don't know why. Maybe people are willing to just work for whatever salary they're getting here, and I've seen people are working for years and years in the same salary. So I'm not sure if I can precisely answer that question, but that is my sort of experience as well. And my that might be the reason why I switched over to contract rather than the permanent. Obviously I did permanent jobs for years and years in the industry as well, so I know both side of it basically. I can compare now the contract roles with the permanent salary there. But if you need more help with the contracting, certainly I can. The next question is from Usha Reddy. Sir, kindly give me an idea about how to qualify precast interview, and also tell me, sir, main theme of precast interview. What are the key points? If I'm honest, I don't know what the difference between precast or cast interview. That should be exactly the same. Generally, the question would be about your subjects, about the universities, how basically the comparison. How did you search? Actually, why you're going specific to that universities? You need to compare about 2 to 3 different universities, basically, to make sure you're looked for other universities as well. One thing I must highlight in the precast sort of interviews, or whether that's the visa interview, don't highlight that because it's the cheapest. That's why I went for this university. Completely ignore that statement, because that shouldn't be a comparison sort of parameter there. So you should compare the maybe the job opportunities there, maybe the ranking there, and maybe the course content. I mean, that's the reason why we went for you are going for that. Maybe your previous experience quite relevant to those sort of course content. So these are the type of answers you can provide them. But in terms of the question, I'm sure I did upload a video on the job interview. It's been quite some time actually on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure if that's something you can search there on my YouTube channel, JK Civil Engineer, about the case interview or credibility interview. That is one of the recorded interview for one of the student as well. I did upload, share that on my YouTube channel as well. That might help as well. It's quite detailed in terms of your why you're choosing this university, your financial requirements, and also after study what your intentions are. So all these sort of questions, I mean, that will be asked. I don't see it's going to be huge different than what you will find basically in that sort of video. So I would urge you to search for that sort of the student interview on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure that's going to help you to prepare yourself for the precast interview as well. But I don't see there will be hardly any difference between the precast or cast interview, so I would completely ignore the pre there. So the next question is how to massage therapist job as a part-time massage therapist, sorry. So how to do massage therapist job as a part-time. Brother, I don't know. I never done massage therapist. It's not relevant to me. So obviously, as a part-time job, there are jobs available for social worker. So this will come under the social worker sort of job opportunities. You can find your jobs, yeah, social worker jobs on the job portal. So I'm sure you will find out yeah relevant jobs there. But personally, I haven't done myself, so I don't know how to do massage, and I would love to be yeah actually to take the opportunity there as well if you're around. So let me know so I can have the massage as well. Next question is from Raghu Nandan. Headed what university for masters in construction project management, and what about jobs etc for fresher? uh, Guys, you are repeating the same questions, and I don't want to repeat all the answers again and again. In terms of the universities, they are really sort of yeah a high ranked university throughout the UK. So I can't say yeah one is better than the other. All I can say is just look at the content. As long they provide you course content there, if you are interested in those course contents modules there, that is the best. In terms of the job opportunities, already yeah actually answer that question. In terms of the job opportunity, there is a huge potential here. In terms of how to grab a job, that's a different matter. Obviously you need to show that willingness yeah to grab that opportunity. Your competency, your skills needs to be there. CV plays a vital role there as well, and then the next stage in the interview. So as long you clear all those different stages, so I'm sure you will find your way through there. Guys, if you like the information, don't forget to press the like button so I understand yeah you are getting the message through. Also guys, uh, if you haven't subscribed to the channel JK Civil Engineer, I would urge you to join the community there as well. I'm sure you will find yeah a good content there as well. I do share yes the relevant content there, especially for civil engineers. So I'm sure that's going to help you there as well. So the next question is from Ganesh. Hello, sir. I'm planning to move to Belfast with family. Wanted to know how is the scope for jobs for students and dependents. Again, same question, Ganesh. In terms of, I don't know what you sort of yeah uh, your specialty is, what you're going to study there. So presuming you are doing civil engineering, so you are on the right track, I should say. So opportunities are there for civil engineers, I'm sure, but the same applies to yourself as well. As long you do a really good sort of yeah masters or whatever your degrees in good sort of yeah intention, and then move to the your CV, brush up your CV, your skills, competency, and go for the job interview, and that's where you're going to get the yeah grab the opportunity. In terms of the dependent, a good opportunity for dependent is they are basically eligible to work full time. Even if you're a student, dependent can do full time, whether that professional or professional jobs. So obviously it's a good opportunity for dependent as well. In terms of yeah the job opportunities, obviously we are out of the literally out of the lockdown already. So there are part-time jobs available. I'm sure yeah you're gonna yeah have more opportunities in September and going forward as well. The next question is from Akshay. Can I call you on a WhatsApp for a question? Absolutely, I would love to get a call. Actually, you will be the first one. So do call me, and your question will be prioritized as well. So let's see. I mean, who's going to call first? Yeah. So my numbers is actually on the top there. The first message. So that's my WhatsApp number. You can call that number and see who's going to be the first caller here. The next question is MD Khan. Does MS Project and Primavera software use there? Absolutely, you are bang on. So MS Project, I would say Primavera is mostly yeah the most used softwares for the project management. So if you can get skills there in Primavera, definitely is going to worth a lot more basically when you come here. MS Project as well is a good software, but I would say I would prefer Primavera over MS Project. The next question is from Haha. I like that, Haha. Uh, so hi, my English is basic. So what can you advise me to do to get CSCS card. Thank you. uh CSCS card, actually there's a multiple choice question sort of test online, not online, sorry. You need to basically book your test and go there, and basically on the computer you need to just click 50 question there, and you click them. As long you understand what the question means, obviously they are all relevant to health and safety. You need to prepare from the book. Generally they are available from the CITB website, so you can find out, yeah, what sort of card you're going for, so you can get the relevant book there, and you prepare yourself. In terms of, you should have enough knowledge to understand what the questions are all about. Obviously for the CSCS card, if you're construction related, I mean if you're labor or that kind of job, you don't need too much English. But obviously if you're thinking about the construction project manager sort of role, definitely you need to brush up your English language, because that's something. Communication plays a really vital role in terms of the construction project management. Whatever management you're doing, if you're concerned with the management, you need to have the top notch English competency there. But in terms of the CSCS card, I don't think you need a really too much English there, as long you understand the basics there and you understand the question there. In terms of the CSCS test, it's quite straightforward, and you can prepare yourself with that CITB content there. The next question is from Digi. I will just stop there. I have 25 years of experience in railway and bridges as structural engineer. How will I find a job? You will find a job. 25 years experience and railway, bridges and structure, very sort of, yeah, in demand actually, railway. Personally I work in the railway industry as well, but not as a structural, but in the civil engineering industry. So I can see the potential there. There's a huge demand for engineers in the railway industry. HS2 is one of the basically the newly sort of developed now on the construction on side, basically that started now the HS2 project. There's a huge potential on that project as well. You can go on the HS2 website yourself as well, just to have a look what potential opportunities are there. But otherwise I would say the in terms of requirements, how to find a job is exactly the same as I've started this session actually. So you need to go through the CV. Obviously, with 25 years experience, I would expect you to come as a skilled worker visa, not through a student. So that would be ideal for yourself. So for that one, you need your CV. I mean, that is really important. So CV needs to be the top notch. You need to ensure you make your CV as the UK standard, as I mentioned earlier. If you missed that part, I will upload this session on my YouTube channel after concluding this session, so you can rewind them and have a look there, basically what the requirements are for the CV. And then the job interview, basically, obviously for overseas, there will be online interview sessions, and you can attend those interviews. And after that, if you are the one actually the employer they're looking for, you go through those sort of, yeah, the process. After you clearing your interview, the next stage will be the immigration, which will be the skilled worker visa. The employer will provide you the certificate of sponsorship. That's where that's going to help you to apply for the skilled worker visa. But in terms of opportunities, I must say, yeah, there's a huge potential for your skills here. Railway industry, structural engineering, bridges, yeah, there's a huge potential there. The next question is from Ganesh. Sir, what is the approximately percentage of sponsorship jobs for overseas civil engineer? I mean, how many civil engineers can be able to secure their sponsorship jobs after masters? There is no specific requirement, like, I mean, such and such sort of percentage, 20% will be allocated to overseas and the rest will be for the local. There's no such discrimination. We call it discrimination here. As long you are eligible to apply in the UK, it doesn't matter where you're from. Actually, it doesn't matter whether you came from another country or you are local. So because that comes under discrimination if you and that's where I've started basically in this CV as well. You don't need to write your personal address, your personal sort of background. I mean, where you from India, from Pakistan. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to mention those ones. Your age doesn't matter. You don't need to add your date of birth either. So it doesn't matter what your age is. So whether you are 50 years or you're 20 years, it doesn't matter. In terms of the job, that they all come in discrimination act actually here in the UK, so you won't be discriminated against if you are overseas. So that there's no such thing, I mean, like a 50% for overseas, 50% for local, as long you have the competency to fulfill the requirements of the job. You are there, so it doesn't matter where you are overseas or not, basically. So that is the simple answer. So the next question is from Dijik. Dijik, sir, can I call you after your live? Brother, I would say no, because I've dedicated this session 1 hour session, so I have my personal duties as well, unfortunately. So I need to fulfill those as well. So if you're interested, please call me on that number so you can share. I'm sure, yeah, you will find out I don't bite at all, so you can talk to me as well on the live chat. Next question is from Haha. Can I find a book to revise for the CSCS guy? Yes, definitely. There is, as I mentioned, CITB is the website. That this is the official, actually, CITB. You can Google that, CITB, and you can find the relevant books, basically, whether you are going for green card, red card, blue card, black card, white card, whatever card you're choosing. There will be relevant books there as well, so you can buy them. Or I'm sure, yeah, there would be some apps now as well, so you can find those apps as well in the app store. Next question is from MD Khan. What softwares and soft skills you recommend to civil engineering students to learn? Right, very good question, MD Khan. The software skills, I mean, generic softwares are the MS suites. So MS Word, MS Excel, Outlook. I mean, they are the basics. Everyone must know, at least, I mean, I would say the experience sort of level. So not just the basic. I should say you get a bit more used to those softwares. Doesn't matter where you're going to end up yourself into, you're going to use these three definitely. So there's no escape from these three. In terms of the structure analysis softwares, it depends on company to company and also the client requirements. So structure analysis, there's a huge big list of softwares there. So I would just name a few: Revit, Tekla, Master Series, Super Stress, ANSYS. There's a big sort of list there. So whatever you get, if you are getting opportunity for any of these softwares, make use of those sort of opportunity. Make sure you get a bit of a knowledge of these analysis software there as well. That's going to help you in terms of the management. Primavera, Prince 2, MS Project. So these are the main sort of, yeah, management softwares. You can practice them as well. For the technician, or yeah, again, yeah, for the civil engineering technician or BIM sort of side, Revit is mainly used, as well as the MacroStation, the CAD. So CAD is generally, I should say, is outdated now in the UK market. So generally the MacroStation has overtaken actually the CAD as well. So you need to have the MacroStation, which doesn't, I don't see as a huge difference there. But if you can avail the opportunity in MacroStation, so that's a good software there as well. In terms of the soft skills, especially for the graduates, I would say English language. Obviously, you need to speak in English. If that's something is not your first language, obviously initially you're going to struggle with that. And the remedy for that is, the more you practice, the more you become efficient. So that's the simple as that. Basically, you need to speak. Unless you speak, I mean, reading, yeah, that the readings and sort of listening, that's another sort of part of it. But obviously, the more you speak, the more you understand, and the more you basically improve your skills there. So English is basics. You need to have, well, doesn't matter where you end up, English must be there. The other skills are your sort of team building, basically speaking to your colleagues, and yeah, problem solving sort of skills. Obviously this is something you're going to get from your masters as well, so you need to understand the basic of engineering there, the problem solving sort of skills there. Sustainability, health and safety, these are other sort of skills you need to have basically in your mind, because this is something the industry embraces all the time. Whenever you go to the meeting, this is something you're going to come in discussion, basically health and how you consider health and safety in construction, in the design. Sustainability, how you would achieve sustainability in the construction. So these are the sort of things, I mean, that works really well in the civil engineering industry in the UK. So as long you have initially the basic knowledge of all these content, I mean, that will really help you in your job interview. Obviously if you have the knowledge, you understand basically these terminologies, you read them through different websites as well, so you can add them to your CV as well. You have the basic knowledge of all these content there, that would definitely aid your chances here, to be in the game basically. Next question is from Lamia. Do civil engineering jobs get work visa? I heard like about 99% company are not ready to provide work visa. I don't know where the actually that rationale is. Where did you heard? Is that official 99% companies, or is it just a random number from word of mouth? In terms of the do civil engineers get a work visa? As long you fulfill the job requirements, if that's something that if the recruiter, the employer is looking for someone and you fulfill those requirements, so there's no alternative, they have to provide you with the work permit, the skilled worker visa we now call it, rather than the work permit. So they have to provide you the skilled worker visa. There's no alternative to that. As long you fulfill the requirement of the recruiter, the employer, you will get there. So that there's no alternative. You had 99% companies that are not willing to provide work visa. I don't know where the rationale that is. I don't agree with that for sure, because I've seen people are getting jobs here, so I don't know where that's coming from. Next question is from Lamia. When I try to apply for jobs through LinkedIn, most of the companies are looking for a person who have the right to work in the UK. Also for those who internationally experienced. Right, so if you are experienced personnel, presuming obviously you're applying through the job skilled worker visa process, so presuming you have the experience there, I would highly urge you, if you're experienced engineer and you don't get noticed, the next sort of really sort of important factor that can enhance you to be recruited in the UK industry is through your chartership. I do mention this time to time in my videos as well. Chartership is really high valued skill here in the UK, especially in the civil engineering industry. If you don't know how to become a chartered civil engineer, there were a couple of old videos I actually initially I uploaded in my YouTube channel that can give you a guidance basically how to become a chartered civil engineer. It's not a hard sort of rules there. I mean, it's quite easy. If you're experienced, I'm sure you can tick off the boxes there. But obviously it needs dedication, your hard work, and your willingness to do those chartership. As long you do the chartership, you become a chartered member of the ICE. That's where you have enhanced double triple your sort of chances to be hired in the UK. That would be the alternative. I mean, if you're not getting noticed here in the UK, and I'm sure if you're chartered, that's the easiest way to get into the job market, I should say, if you're experienced. The next question is from Ganesh. Sir, in worst case, if I suppose I didn't find sponsorship jobs during PSW, can I get again PSW if I get again another course at master's or PhD level? The simple answers is PSW you're gonna get once in your lifetime, so you're not gonna get the PSW again. Although you can switch from PSW if you unfortunate circumstance, if you can't find a job, as you said, you can switch to your higher sort of degree, as you mentioned, PhD level. So if you've done masters, you have achieved, you gain the PSW from the master's sort of degree, then you can switch to PhD sort of course there, because it's higher from the master, so that you can do that one. There are the other sort of skilled there are other visa types as well, like entrepreneurs and the talent, global talent sort of visa. But obviously, in 2 years, if you can't even find basically your relevant job, it will be really hard to find in another sort of, yeah, case as well, in other type of visas as well. So unfortunately, I doubt it, yeah, anyone else can help you there, unless you get married with someone who has the British passport here. I mean, that would be the alternative to get stay here forever, basically someone with a British passport, which obviously that's your choice, but that will be the alternative, and maybe the easiest way to get trapped yourself here. The next question is from MD Khan: is AutoCAD used there? AutoCAD, as I mentioned earlier, AutoCAD is superseded now by most of the companies by MicroStation, which is pretty much similar kind of, yeah, AutoCAD softwares. MicroStation, I'm not sure if that's available in the Asian market there as well, but it's pretty much similar. AutoCAD, I would say, if you get a chance to basically understand, yeah, the MicroStation, that would be a good choice. But obviously, if you can't get the software there, so AutoCAD is alternative. Yeah, you can get yourself, yeah, in AutoCAD as well, and it's used as well. Very limited usage now, but obviously the skill is transferable to MicroStation. If you have the knowledge of AutoCAD, I'm sure you can transfer your skills to MicroStation when the MicroStation is available for yourself. The next question is from Krishna. What is the pay range for the entry level engineers and later, and does it increase in the meantime? Uh, Entry level pay range for the permanent civil engineer roles. So if you're going with no experience, completing your degree, masters, for instance, master degree, or even bachelor degree, if you're doing bachelor degree, you can go exactly to the same jobs with the, like, I mean, fresh or graduate job here in the UK. You will be on the pay scale between 20 to 23,000. I should say that should be the range. 23,000 pound per year. So we generally say that in pounds per year, per year. Yeah, so that will be your gross income. So obviously you need to account for your tax and national insurance as well, which is a part, yeah, separate part of discussion. But that would be the initial sort of, yeah, your job pay. In terms of increment, yeah, there is annual sort of, yeah, review of your increment basically, and that all depends your performance. Generally, I should say, you get, yeah, increment between 3% to 5%. I mean, that is the general sort of, I should say, give you the range. Basically, that's how you get the increment there. But obviously, if you show your sort of competency there, and you show them the progress there, you're getting basically quite quickly, you understand, yeah, the process there, I'm sure you can get even more, yeah, percentage on annual basis as well. So you do get, yeah, the increment there from time to time. Obviously, chartership is another way of improving your salary quite quickly. So once you are chartered, straight away you can get about 5,000K, I should say. The minimum you can get increment to 5,000K there in your annual salary. I hope that clarifies the question. So I've talked quite a lot. Actually, it's nearly 4 o'clock now. So guys, I hope this clarifies all the question. And as I said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel JK Civil Engineer, I would urge you to please do visit the channel, do subscribe to the channel, and I'm sure you will find, yeah, relevant content there. And we have to increase this community a lot more now. And thank you very much for being part of this live session here as well. I hope this was useful, and I hope I did justice to your questions as well. Although I didn't get much likes there, but I hope, I mean, this may basically your life a bit easy. Just provide you the information there. So I hope you would have a great evening with your family and friends, and I hope to see you in the next live session next Sunday. So thank you very much for being part of this session.